Holy shit, it's 1 a.m. in Eastern Time. What's up, Raptor fans? Your host, Aiden Moss here with Kyle Brickman. The Raptors just throttled the pathetic looking Los Angeles Lakers and an angry, frustrated LeBron James. 114, 103. Kyle Brickman, what are you doing up at this hour?
Yeah, I know. It's funny that you were you're saying it's 1 a.m. for everyone at home. Aiden's on the West Coast,
Yeah, it's 10
and this
p.m.
is as tired as Aiden looks right now. This is like the standard finishing games time for everyone else on the podcast. So this is a good lesson tonight. And like this is what we go through every single night for this wrap up live.
I
I
know.
hope you
We're
understand now
well past my
how
bedtime right
difficult it
now.
is. Yeah, great team win though. Honestly, it got kind of dicey towards the end. Like, how concerned were you? Scale of 1 to 10. Like, how tight were you in that seat? Like, how itchy were you?
I was starting to get the feeling of like if we blow this game, it's just gonna kill so much momentum that we've built off of the Phoenix and Denver games. So I was like 7.3 out of 10 concerned. I was starting to get real nervous. And it's just the kind of thing where like continually throughout the game, the Raptors would take their foot off the pedal and and they saw how frustrated and pathetic the Lakers looked and they just kind of bought into that. We're like, yeah, they've imploded, they're over. We can stop doing what we're doing. Um and that happened in all of the second quarter and it happened to in the beginning of the fourth. And I saw Samson tweet it was like the Raps were starting to do ISO ball with like 4 minutes left, trying to like burn out the clock. Because I think they just felt like the Lakers thought this was over.
Yeah, and it really sort of things just turned around when they started attacking Carmelo in space. That's the go-to. I think Jalen Green said it the other night on like a post-game interview, which is just like on my face. Um, but it did. It really worked for them. He can't go. I mean, even in his prime, he couldn't guard in space. But like he cannot guard in space now.
And that's what's so frustrating, right? Is that like the first quarter game plan's pretty obvious. Like they start Austin Reeves, Westbrook, and Monk. None of those guys can play defense on a good night. And particularly one of those three is going to be guarding Pascal or Barnes. And it's just like we punish them down low over and over and over again, but then we go away from that. And that's just been a constant theme with a lot of these games is we go away from what's working and we settle for these late shot clock pull up threes or quick shot clock pull up threes. And it's just like there's no need for it. We don't need these like hero ball, like jacks in the middle of a quarter. We just need to slowly and methodically wear this team down. I genuinely thought Scotty was going to go for 40 and we were going to win by 50. Like it was just like they had immediately took all of the Lakers' energy out like within the first 4 minutes of the game, and they could have just they could have just buried them then and there, and they didn't, and that's kind of frustrating. But
Yeah, it's seems like kind of trivial to complain like this after a win, although
yeah,
the win actually wasn't as big as it could have been. But they froze Scotty out again. They keep doing it. Like
yeah,
I don't understand. The second quarter, they went away from Scotty, and then the Lakers went on a huge run. And in the fourth, they figured out their offense without Scotty. But it's just weird to have a guy rolling like that. You know, he had like 16 in the first quarter. And it's like, okay, whatever. He's not getting 60. You can't just multiply that by 4. But like, he's not getting 64. But fine. Like, you could have at least let him chase a career high. It's stupid. I get it. It's a win, whatever. But I would have liked to see that, especially in a game where not much else was happening. I would have liked to see just like Scotty go at it.
so in the first quarter he had 8 shots. In the second quarter he had 3. In the third quarter he had 4, and then in the fourth quarter he had 2. So yeah, like he basically had the same number of shots in the first quarter in the rest of the game. And it was just like he was the guy that had the greatest mismatch on this team. Like he literally could have just gotten anything he wanted. And so Yeah, I mean, you're right. It is weird to complain, but it's just like you watch the game, you're like, why are we doing the things we're doing right now? We should have just been like pounding it down low over and over again. Yeah, and Mauricio said like Freddie looked a little shaky. He did. He just kind of looked out of sorts a little bit.
No, he doesn't look healthy at all to me. Like I actually don't really understand why he played tonight. I would be pretty surprised if he played Wednesday. I just don't see why he would be playing. He didn't have a terrible night. He's hit some shots late, but 3 for 14, 2 for 12 from three, 11 points. Wasn't exactly like he had 7 assists, but he wasn't really running the offense. It was sort of like by committee, as it might always be. And yeah, I don't really understand. He doesn't look healthy. I don't get why they would go with Armani Brooks the other night in what was a more difficult matchup. I guess Fred could be more healthy, but you'd think like if you're comfortable starting Armani Brooks against Denver, where was Armani Brooks tonight? Like, why do you need Fred
Yeah,
against this Lakers team, which has
yeah,
been struggling intensely?
that's a good point. Actually, I like Armani Fox Brooks. I haven't been able to talk about him, but
No, we could
I'm like
talk about him. I was gushing over him last. I said he had like sort of a Norm Powell vibe. He's long. He can play make. He's kind of like he can tip passes on defense. He can get in the passing lanes.
his style and body type reminds me of Lou Will.
Okay.
Um, and what I did like is he was very deferential in his first couple games, like doing the passes and focusing on rebounding and making defensive plays, which I dig. But yeah, I can't okay, fuck. Sorry. Back to the game. Um, dude, I have never understood the love for LeBron. Lou Williams, not Will Lou. Um, and it's the games like these that I just like when the comparator of him versus Jordan happen, I'm just like, you see this every once in a while with LeBron where he just gets so whiny and so dejected. And imagine being the other players on the team where like your leader is just looking at everybody with like poison through their eyes, you know? It's just like it'd be so uncomfortable to play on that kind of team. And I just like I don't know, it's just you don't expect to see this from a goat. You know, the way he like tried to very obviously in multiple occasions take his anger out on the Raptors in like the cheapest, like almost passive way.
To be fair, it's not like Michael Jordan was like the best teammate ever. Like I just
No,
think
I
that
agree with that.
even Kobe as well, by all accounts, like was like difficult to be around in the locker room. I mean, I think you just reach a certain level,
But it's
and you
petty.
expect a lot of
He's
other
so
people.
fucking petty.
Yeah, I get it. I get it, and I get that like he has a sense of entitlement, but he's also been running the league for whatever 20 years. So I don't know. I kind of he's like for my generation, like he's like the guy. And I was actually texting my dad tonight saying like, so this is like making me feel a little old. Like he's been the best player in the NBA since I was 10 years old, and it looks like he's like washed. It's like seeing like your grandfather like forget something for the first time. It's like, oh man, like what's going on here? It's seriously though, like this was heartbreaking. Like he does not look the same. I get that the team around him is pretty poor, but like he's kind of I don't want to say wash, but he's not the player he used to be, and
I don't
it's a little upsetting.
but I think part of it is he's not putting in 100%, right? Like you
No, but
saw
why
during the
would you
game
with this team?
when when the Lakers started pulling up, all of a or like getting closer, all of a sudden he's at 100% effort, and that's kind of what I mean. Like he give like I don't know. There was a tweet last night with the Phoenix game. There was like two possessions in a row where he literally wasn't even on the TV screen. Like he was just in the other court, and that's the kind of stuff you wouldn't see from Kobe or LeBron or Michael Jordan. And I'm not trying to compare him to those. This isn't about a comparative. This is just him that I observe in all these games where like he's either blaming somebody or he's whining with the refs, and I don't know. It's just like it's really embarrassing to watch. Real, frankly, like is one thing to be like have a slower step and not be able to take over the game like you used to. It's another trying to like not take responsibility for it or just give up on your team and just I don't know. It was just very angry, and He's always just bothered me though, like, and he does this all the time. He'll like pretend to get injured and go down for like 49 minutes and then get up and be totally fine. He's just like, yeah.
I will say there's this like classic meme, which is like dudes will say they don't like Subway, like, come on, you built the sandwich. This is like sort of the same thing with LeBron. It's like you say you don't like the team, like LeBron, man, you built the team. Like you made this team. You don't like the team. I'm sorry, you built it. Like this is what you get. So I don't know. I'm not I wouldn't say I'm a huge LeBron fan, but I'll give him some like he's not the main villain tonight. I was shocked that they stayed with Carmelo so long when he's been such a liability defensively. The other thing I want to say is like Westbrook, kind of a good game. I've seen a lot of like low lights. This is like not a terrible Westbrook game. Could have been way worse. I thought he was smart to get himself involved in the offense as like a cutter or as a screener off ball, and he's not demanding so much on ball time. So I think that's good for them. But in general, that team is just. I'm not proud of this win like I would have been proud of this win, even when their Lakers were a bad team 2 years ago, or
I will say quickly
whatever.
about
3 years
Westy is
ago.
he seemed to bobble a lot of balls.
Yeah,
Okay, Andrew, relax. We're just talking about basketball. Um, the the I think going back to the Raptors, can we say we can't say that Gary's out of his funk, can we?
well, he had 42 the other night.
And he had 28 tonight, but his shooting is still like abysmal.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah,
can
and
we
it's
officially
interesting
announce that?
because
We
like
can't.
even the true shooting stuff is going to get boosted by the fact that he hit like 5 free throws in the last 20 seconds of the game. But like without those 5 free throws, it's a pretty ugly night efficiency wise as well. Um, yeah, I actually don't know what's going on. It's weird. I just don't know if he's willing to accept a floor spacing role. And I get that a lot of those missed shots, like that, those 19 shots he took, a lot of them are end of shot clock. For example, in this clip where he just has to bail guys out because he's like the one on the floor whose responsibility it is to bail the Raptors out deep in possessions. But I don't know. It's ugly. It's inefficient and it's pretty ugly. And sometimes I would just prefer him to go stand in the corner instead of him thinking he's the best player on this team and taking more shots than
Yeah, and
anyone.
I think like there's those shots, but there's these early shot clock ones that are just kind of maddening. It's like it's as bad as a turnover when you're taking those shots and missing that early. But I mean, he did have 28 points and he did play good defense tonight, better than he's played of recent. Um,
We should talk about Pascal. He is
Go
in the
for it.
title, which
Sure.
I um another great night. And I think it was Oren mentioning it either last night or maybe he was tweeting it. Like he has been great over the last 10 games, but still is playing worse than he was pre All-Star break. I think he'll end up being an all NBA player. He has the one thing he has going for him, especially those forward spots, is like he has the games played. Whereas like a guy like Kevin Durant's only going to end up playing like 50 something games, and Pascal's going to end up playing 70 something games. So, um, is there anything you saw that you were particularly impressed with tonight?
Well, it's been over the last couple of games, but first of all, his assists have been up, and like I think that's like obvious. We've been seeing that over the course of the year, but I think that's what's going to help him on his All NBA bid is his playmaking and his playmaking when like Freddie and OG have been out for an extended period of time. But the new thing about Pascal, I think like that you see consistently now is his dominance in the restricted area. Like he's really mastered that floater, the like anything within 10 feet, he's basically hitting. His touch around the rim, like there's just like a confidence about him, and he's having so much fun. He's just like smiling the whole time, which is hilarious to me. And and yeah, he's just you can tell that he's excel. And this is like a play like this, like we should be running those plays nonstop for him, right? Like we should be getting him at the elbow, getting him in the low post and letting him go to work because he's virtually unstoppable.
Yeah, absolutely. I think in general, a team like the Lakers, these worst teams, this is like the opportunity for Pascal to cook to like a tremendous extent. They don't know the Lakers don't know how to double well at all. In fact, the last clip we just showed was like Scotty cuts through and like Carmelo's like pre-rotating for the help and is just lost on a spin move. Like he's in no man's land completely. Like these guys don't know how to help these teams that maybe haven't played together very long or aren't playing well together, have played together very long and aren't playing well together. So I just think this could be a nice little stretch from them. Clippers again, Lakers again. Like this could be, maybe you take this little stretch as like maybe Nick Nurse takes Gary aside and says like, we're going to take this upcoming stretch for getting Fred healthy. Siakam's going to get a lot of shots up, and Scotty Barnes is going to chase Rookie of the Year, and it'll be good for the locker room chemistry. Because honestly, like, this is such a stupid complaint. I feel dumb, but it's like there's not much else to talk about. But I don't like Gary taking more shots than anyone on the team when, like, he has fewer makes than two other guys on the team.
I know. I agree. This is Pascal's shot selection, by the way. Like, that's like...
Yeah, that should be every single night.
Exactly. That's like what you want to see.
As Aiden's on the move.
What?
I said you were on the move.
I had to let my dog in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels like they have made a concerted effort to get Scotty the Rookie of the Year. Like, they came out of that game hunting for him.
Just early, too. Early in games, it feels like Scotty does a lot of work now. And I think it's just like when you're young, you kind of get off the block with so much energy. And you're so much like, you're more, oh my God. Look, the man just got off Sportsnet.
Did someone just say Scotty?
Yes,
no,
of course.
How's everyone doing?
This wasn't much of a game. I think we have it wrapped up. Is there anything that you have in particular that you want to mention?
No, I actually fell asleep during halftime and I just woke up. So now I'm playing with you. It was a good game. I enjoyed it. I don't know what you guys have covered so far. I am super, super tired.
We talked a lot about Carmelo. One of the viewers really wanted us to talk more about Melo.
Yeah.
So
Andrew was begging us to talk more about the Lakers, but I had to tell him, sorry, this is a Raptors podcast.
Yeah, Carmelo. 28 minutes. Honestly, his legs, by the way he was playing defense, you would have thought he was playing like 46, 47 minutes.
He looks like he's on stilts out there. Like he's like peg legging around.
It was really bad when I think it was one of the last few possessions of the game for the Raptors. Pascal iso'd him up at the top of the key, took him to the rim, and
blew right by him.
Carmelo tried. If any of you guys are WWE fans, do you guys remember JBL, the clothesline from hell? That is what Carmelo Anthony tried to do to Pascal. He just gave up completely on the play and just grabbed Pascal almost by the neck, like it was by the shoulders, but. Yeah, the Raptors were doing that all game long. Nobody on the Lakers can play defense. It's a hysterically funny team. I tweeted out. They're just so bad. The effort levels suck. I really just came here to slander guys, to be totally honest with you guys. I know you guys probably got through the game analysis part, but I'm just here to slander because I'm feeling good. If any of you guys listen to the Will Lou pod, I'm feeling good after that. And now I just want to get it all out of my body, you know?
Did you Kyle asked me this. Was there any point in the fourth quarter that you felt like we're losing this, or like
what was your stress level? Like out of 10, give me like when Talen Horton-Tucker like nearly cut it to 6 on a corner 3, like what's like how far is your stomach dropping as that ball's in the air?
Because for me, I was a little worried. Just a tiny bit. The 2 Fred air balls kind of were like, okay, why is Fred even in this game? I didn't even understand why he played, to be quite honest. I didn't get it at all. Yeah. So one air ball, a couple possessions later, second air ball. Yeah, I'm just here as a guest. Aiden and Kyle are the hosts today, so they're going to thank you guys for the super chat. I'm just here, really. I told you guys to slander.
I agree. We were saying this earlier. I'm not sure if you missed it. Like he doesn't to me, he doesn't look healthy. Like I don't think he should play. I was shocked that they would have the confidence to start Armoni Brooks against Denver, but not start him against the Lakers, who are an objectively worse team and are like on a worse slump. I'd like to see Armoni start, or someone else, like maybe Flynn will be back, start on Wednesday. I don't want to see Fred again until he's healthy, because he doesn't. It's not like, okay, when Lowry was injured, and you brought him, you made him play through injury. He still has like a presence that runs the offense. I don't really think Fred did a great job of like dictating who takes shots tonight. I don't think Fred did a great job of like being the floor general in at least the same way that Lowry would
He
do.
looked like he was there for a scrimmage run. He just didn't even in the beginning of the
Well, that
game. I
might be it. He
tweeted
just might
that.
be.
What'd you say?
He did
Sorry.
play 40 minutes. No, I was saying that might just be it. It might just be to get his legs back. You know.
Yeah, could have been that. Yeah,
They
he
had his
wasn't
legs
shooting the
back
ball
at
early
16
on.
minutes, and then they just like destroyed him again by playing him another 20.
Yeah, exactly.
24.
I didn't understand it at all. Just even having him in the game, the Raptors are up 20-30 the entire game. It just I didn't understand it. I mean, he came back from knee soreness, played I think it was a game or 2 games, 3 games, I don't know, and then went back out with knee soreness. So like that just proves, guys, let's just give Fred a rest for now. I mean, you're playing the Clippers, I believe, on Wednesday, and then you're playing the Lakers again on Friday. I was on little plug here, just to get my ego up a little. I was on Sportsnet earlier today, and I guaranteed a Raptors win. I really did, and I would never do that, knowing how many people would listen to that. Because imagine if I was wrong, what would have happened? But I just there's no way you can look at this Lakers team after a back-to-back and tell me that the effort is going to be there. To tell me that LeBron, I said whether he's going to play or not, it genuinely doesn't matter because LeBron's going to be exhausted. He can't. As much as we want to say LeBron's an alien, he's not. He's a great player, one of the best ever, probably top 3 all time. But this Raptors team is just far, far too good to lose to a Lakers team. The Lakers suck, man. They are horrible.
I want to address this real quick. I know you're just trolling, but like it affects your shot. Like all your shooting base is your legs. Great shooters use it. Like no one it's not just like you're throwing like peaches into baskets or something. Like you're using your legs. So I know you're trolling, but I have to correct you. And Saul, listen, I want to give you credit for so bravely predicting a Raptors win, but they were a 4.5 point favorite. I mean, like let's not pretend you predicted a Raptors win.
Well, to be fair, I didn't just say they were going to win. I said it was going to be a complete blowout. So
okay, so you predicted a cover, which they did. I'll give you credit for that. There you go.
Give me a little something for that.
Go.
Anytime you can go against LeBron and you can win a bet, I mean, it's great. I'm going to sleep happy tonight. I might even sleep in the middle of this broadcast right here. I don't know. I'm so tired. I'm looking at the Coke Zero, box across from me, but I can't. And just calling my name, but I'm not going to go there. I can't.
Well, before you fall asleep, Sahal, maybe you can give us the Can-Am Taxman of the night.
Okay. I love Taxman when we win because there are so many good players to choose from. Scotty started off the game so well. Another thing I didn't understand, and I'm sure you guys mentioned this by now, I don't understand how the hell they just completely took him out. The Raptors took him out of the game, just not feeding him the ball anymore. But
yeah,
I was a little sad about that. I said he was going to go for 40 on Twitter. He didn't. So Scotty started off the game well.
It felt like it, man. It felt like he was going there.
Yeah. Gary played a really good game. He went to the free throw line 13 times. Am I seeing that right? Okay. That's cool. I think it has to be Siakam if I'm not mistaken, guys. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
It has to be Pascal, right?
It could have been Scotty. I had my hopes up about a Scotty.
They didn't feed him enough. I don't know what's going on with that.
They ice him out. The second he took 2 shots in the second quarter after scoring like 16 in the first. What is that? What is that?
I was gonna say, Kyle, we talk about the Raptors having no rim protection. The Lakers,
they don't have any
it's
protection.
So bad, man. You're running into Wenyen Gabriel. You're running into LeBron, who, let's be fair, LeBron's gonna give you everything he can offensively. He's at the stage of his career where defensively he's gonna be on and off. Like he wasn't even running back sometimes. So if he's the last line of defense for the Lakers, it was ugly. So I'm gonna go Pascal. I don't know about you guys. Yeah, I'm gonna go Pascal, but I will shout out Gary Trent Jr.
Pascal.
Went nuts today. Yeah.
No, yeah, Pascal's the no-brainer. I think he just had the most efficient game. He kind of kept us in this when things were kind of going awry. His defense was strong. Congratulations, Pascal Siakam, Can-Am Taxman of the night.
Yes, sir.
It's tax season, ladies and gentlemen. Call VJ Verma at Can-Am Tax. He'll help you with your personal taxes, your business taxes, whatever you got going on. he'll help you out. So check him out on Google. You can see his reviews, or you can go to canamtax.com and give him some of your business. Tell him we sent you.
Yeah.
So
And
what?
before we move on, it's free to like the video. I know, I hate doing this, but it actually does not cost anything. It costs zero.
No,
to
this
like
is what
the
you do.
video.
This is what you got to do, Kyle. Like the video if you didn't appreciate LeBron throwing the ball at Scotty Barnes tonight. All right. Thank you so much, guys.
Or throwing Gary Trent Jr. on the ground, or elbowing Pascal in the face.
I thought the
he
Gary
was
Trent Jr.
was
thing was
frustrated.
he was trying to like pants him like a middle junior high dance, like he was. I don't think that was. I think Gary Trent was like had a hold of his shorts. Like I think it's fair to like I think it's fair to shove him off. That might be a hot take, but you can't pull a man's pants down in a basketball game.
Look at this! Look at this tweet by Dave Oh God, goodness! Someone's gonna have to say that loud. There we go, McManaman. LeBron James will not be speaking to reporters tonight after the game, according to the Lakers. Are any of you guys shocked? I'm not. With the way he was acting in the game, there's no way.
Too busy yelling at his teammates to rebound because he doesn't.
AD's been like a big time LeBron hater. I've been like backed into this corner as the LeBron supporter on this podcast, as if like I am, which I'm not. But just like for the sake of this podcast, I have to say, I have a hard time faulting LeBron when the talent around him is so poor.
Yeah, but it's not about his skill. I'm not doubting his skill. It's just like there's a question of character, because you see this every once in a while.
God.
What?
Oh, he's reacting to that tweet.
I mean, it was the same thing when he had like Lonzo Ball and stuff on his team. He just totally checked out, and he's doing it again now. And it's just like, and you see him squawking and being cheap and whining, and it's just like, I don't know. It's just not what you want to see from the face of the NBA.
Yeah, I mean, you know what's the funny part about the Lonzo situation when he was a LA Laker, and same as Kyle Kuzma and all those guys? That was the Robert Sacre team, right?
Shout out.
That was a very young team, Aiden, right? And then this team, it's like grizzled veterans everywhere. And LeBron's mad now that these veterans suck at basketball. It wasn't necessarily that Brandon Ingram, Lonzo Ball, and those guys sucked at basketball. They were just really raw. Those guys, they didn't.
Yeah, but that's even more reason to not be a frustrated asshole. It's like you got to be a mentor. You got to lead these guys. Like you can't just like be like, "Yo, I'm done for the season, peace," because we're not making playoffs.
I think I will say this: like LeBron plus Ingram, Lonzo, Kuzma, and that's not even and Josh Hart. That's already
Julius
a great
Randle.
lineup, and Julius Randle, and then. That's not counting like the picks he gave up. One of them became Zion, although it's different. They'd have a different record.
Zubats, they got rid of Zubats.
A bunch of picks. Dumbass Zubats move. Like they would have probably won a title. That like KCP, the excuse for the AD trade is like, oh well, they won the title. They would have won a title already with that core. I think that like so. I don't know.
Yeah,
it's got to be right.
I don't know about this comment, because as far as I remember, the Lakers or the Raptors haven't lost in LA. If I was reading it right, I believe it was on Raptors Republic, our preview. We haven't lost in LA since November 2014.
Yeah, something.
So I don't think this isn't a Nick Nurse or Dwayne Casey thing. This is a Raptors own the Lakers for the last almost decade now.
DDR showing up in LA.
It's bad. It's really bad.
Questions? Do you want to go to questions?
Yeah, guys, do you have, because you could obviously tell us three are more tired than usual. Do you guys have the strength to ask us questions right now? Because we're hoping you do after watching that game.
Phoenix, you might
start this from earlier. Oh, wait, let me go to this one first.
Sorry.
Do you guys agree with this statement? Do you see Fred being the one who goes away from Pascal or from Scotty? I kind of see it in the sense that like Fred is nominally in charge, so he's kind of dictates who gets touches and when, but I don't think it's like he has some personal beef with Scotty. He's like looking him off and stuff. It's just like he doesn't get him as involved.
Yeah, I think it's like Freddie and Gary trying to assert themselves because they have the green light to do that, but they just don't do it always in the best way that that's conducive to like helping the team. It's like
Mhm.
Freddie ISO launching from three, or Gary, same thing. And so like, yeah, there's some like tension there, like tactically, but not actually Freddie icing out Scotty or anything.
I mean, Scotty had 17 in the first quarter, and Fred was on the court during the entire first quarter. No, or
Yeah.
am I?
I just
No,
they
yeah,
don't
that's right.
they don't pair the same way. Like Pascal, for example, like all of his playmaking or like attacking is like within like within orbit of Scotty. Like they really
Mhm.
have like a synergy there, whereas like Freddie
Yeah,
and Scotty have it less so, I think.
100%. I agree with that. 100%. What other questions do we got? Let's see. Let's see. It is 1:33 in the morning, my fellow Ontarians.
Are you guys sad? Let me change this question slightly. Do you wish we had traded Lowry for THT last
No,
deadline?
I was never in on
Mhm.
that. I was only in on that because I
Wow.
wanted Lowry to be in the best situation, and I didn't want him to be in the East. And I actually do think that like Lowry on this Lakers team would be kind of nasty. I've always wanted to see Lowry and LeBron play together. They're kind of like kindred spirits in many ways. Like they demand a lot of teammates. They both kind of sulk at times when they don't get their way. But I would much prefer Precious to THT. The only thing that THT had on Precious was like he was a bit more of a floor spacer, but that's not even the case anymore. So
The only hypothetical I probably would have done, thinking back to all of those trade scenarios, was the 76ers ones that included Tyrese Maxey, because now I'm realizing just how good that kid is. Like he is an
Was
incredibly
Maxi in
good
those?
basketball player.
Was he
That's the
legitimately
thing.
ever in those?
I think that was a sticking point.
I think exactly. I think he was part of the proposals that just wouldn't go through because he, much like I think Tyler Harrow was the reported sticking point. So, but yeah, no. To answer your question, THT, no.
I
He's
think
okay. He's
he
a
had
good role
some
player,
nice
but
takes today, though.
he did. But I think Raptors are up 20 the entire time. They're not focused. It's so hard to keep focus. Aiden, I'm sure you know, like you coach basketball. It's so hard when you're up 20 an entire game to maintain that focus from start to finish. They were literally
Sure.
up 20 the entire game.
Yeah.
So
But
Aiden only knows like we're down 20, so the other team's going to be very unfocused.
that's when we
right
take
now, guys,
advantage.
please.
all right, guys, we got him where we want him. We're down 20. No, but the
That's
thing
a
is
good one.
that this is a running theme with this Raptors team. Like someone
Yeah.
saw it on Twitter, which is like has come to my mind as well, is that we play down to our competition, we play up to our competition. The Lakers are kind of funny because they suck, but they have the air of being a good team, and so the Raptors obviously came out to roast them. But then as soon as they see them fold, like piece of paper, it's just like the Raptors suddenly are like, oh, they're bad. We will just not play hard. It's a very odd thing to see happen.
It is super odd. I want to quickly say I do not know how we have 200 plus of you live with us at 1:35 in the morning Eastern time zone. If you are in the Atlantic time zone or whatever else that those time zones are
God
called
bless you.
to the east of Ontario, yeah, you are an amazing human being. I just want you to know that.
Do we have anyone
I,
from Europe who ever watches
that
this
would
show? Is there someone like having a
yeah.
morning coffee right now?
Yeah, if you think you're furthest from Toronto, because everybody just thinks Toronto's the most important, let us know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're from, and then that goes also for all the people in Vancouver, Alberta, like you're not part of that because it's like, I don't know what it is for you there, 10 o'clock, 10:30, 11, somewhere
Dude,
around
this is
there.
my
So
bedtime right now.
yeah, you're
I
not a
know.
part of those. You're not a part of that. Yeah.
So, while we get on, before we get on to the next question, it's worth noting that I want to ask the audience here. We're doing a little March Madness bracket. The four of us, meaning the three people here and Oren, plus I guess producer Don and producer Chris, if they're interested. And I want you guys to tell us in the comments who are you picking? Who's winning between the four of us? Who has the best college basketball knowledge? Who do you trust the most? And why is it me?
And why is it you? Do not end that way. Do not end that way.
You're watching from Hong Kong, Miranda. Wow.
That's incredible.
We're
Wow.
at Paris,
Watching from
India.
Japan. We need to
Japan.
ask you guys this
This is
question more
cool.
often. This is awesome. And then you have that
Fia,
one guy.
let's go,
I'm watching from
surfer.
Mississauga. I love you, man. I love you. You're like a little drive away from me. That's awesome. We got someone from Phoenix is from Iowa. Wow, that's
Wait,
incredible.
Phoenix from Iowa.
That's
way.
insane. You know
Are
what?
you
Just
like
for
a
that,
friend of
Phoenix,
Nick
I'm gonna put Iowa super deep in my bracket just for that. I believe they're in the bracket somewhere, so I'm gonna.
It's
put them
actually
super deep.
interesting that Connor vouches for me because my favorite college team are the Spartans.
Mhm.
I'm a big Tom Izzo guy.
Okay, so wait. At what point, just to get away from,
killed me.
just to get into the Win Big and Q mascots. At what point, guys, are we gonna tell everybody who our final picks are?
Whoa,
Are we
whoa,
keeping that to
whoa,
ourselves?
whoa! We have a winner.
Wow.
That's cool.
I'm watching from Mogadishu for all the listeners and watchers. That is in Eastern Africa. That is Somalia. That is the home country of myself. Wow. Can you go say hi to my couple uncles for me? Knock on their door for me. No, they're in a different part of Somalia. That's cool though. That's so cool.
Yeah.
Wow. We're like a year, it's almost 2 years into wrap up.
It's shocking.
we're
it took
just-
us this long.
And we're just getting into asking people where they're watching from. That is awesome. Japan, Hong Kong. Someone tweeted me today and said they were watching the game from Brazil like 3 hours ago, and it was like 2:30 in the morning for them. So, wow, incredible. We the Globe. You are correct, Connor. I totally forgot what we were talking about. I wanted to get into a little bit more slander, but I don't know if I have the energy.
Oh, there's always room.
Did I talk about how?
Let's
Yeah, my
maybe
brain's
talk
not even working.
standings.
Yeah, Raptors look good. Are we up where the
Raptors
Cavaliers are right now? That's what I need to know.
I think we're still a game back.
Okay,
Just checking.
still over Brooklyn.
We
Life
are
is good.
a game back because Cavs won tonight. We're 3 games ahead of the Nets.
That
Oh,
March
man.
26th game against Cleveland is like that kind of determines the whole season, right? I think that is like the game of the season now.
I do not want to see either of those top 2 seeded teams in the playoffs for as long as possible. 3 and 4, absolutely. Obviously the 76ers less than the Bulls for me at least, but yeah, not trying to see Miami. That is going to be a dogfight. They are going to hurt our players somehow, some way. I'd love to see Kyle though, but and then Giannis and the Bucks. No, I'm not trying to see the defending champions in the playoffs. Playoffs are soon, guys. Playoffs are very soon, and it's going to be exciting. These top 8 seeds. I'm ready for Brooklyn to just go on a weird run after the mandates end in New York and Kyrie can play all the home games. It's going to be
trouble, man.
hilarious.
I have this really bad feeling in my stomach that we're gonna play the Nets, and then we're gonna lose, and then play the Hawks, and then we're just gonna get bounced. Like I just have this weird bad juju in my belly.
And we just got to hope that Kyrie can't play in Canada, right? Because the 7 seed hosts the 8 seed game, the 7-8 game, right?
Yeah.
We just got to hope people aren't going to like hearing this. We're going to have to hope that mandate stays in place for Kyrie Irving, just for now, guys. So Kyrie can't play in Canada. I would love that. Yeah, East looks good, man.
Will we get Utah tomorrow? No, we're not. Utah is like in some sort of imaginary jail on that bench. It doesn't seem bad. I wrote about this on last Friday. It's just like every time he's out there, he's hitting a 3 or he's blocking somebody at the rim. And it's just like, how can this guy not get any playing time? I just don't understand.
Yeah. I would love – someone said – oh, Phoenix says, you think we go completely small when we get healthy again? I mean, we've been doing that healthy and not healthy. I mean, we don't really have a choice. Tallest guy on our team's like 5'3". He just somehow has an 8-foot wingspan. I would love to face the Celtics as well. Yeah, Phoenix, come on. We're gonna go. Of course, we're gonna go completely small. We don't really have a choice.
Yeah, I don't think they should, but I think they will.
Yeah. Should we end it there, guys? Wow, that can be really.
It's getting to me.
It's getting there, right? Yeah.
Oh,
that gave me some energy when everyone told us where they were from. That's crazy. New
Boston,
Jersey,
Phoenix. Definitely Boston.
Etobicoke.
Assuming Caruso and what's his name, Ball are Well, if they're
I
back,
mean,
it'll be different.
there's no way we're gonna play Boston. I would love to play them. I love beating Boston. But I mean, Chicago to me is the best playoff matchup that's realistic that we can hope for, in my opinion, in terms of matchups and everything. I just don't think we match up that well against Miami. I just feel like they'll give us so much issues. They play such tough defense. And then who else am I forgetting? The Bucks. I don't want to play the Bucks, of course, like I said.
I got you, Phoenix. I know what you mean, and I still think it's the Celtics. He's just asking if Chicago and Boston played each other, who would win.
I think the Celtics are favored by 538 to win the NBA title right now. Like they're playing crazy. Yeah.
No.
Really?
One second. Let me look this up.
Don't make me lose all credibility.
No, well, you're gonna have to. Yeah. They're the team that has the highest chance of winning the finals.
That's wild.
No, it changed. No, don't do this to me. I still have some credibility.
Okay.
As of yesterday, they were at 20% and the Bucks were at 19, and now the Bucks are at 19. The Celtics are at 18.
That's so wild.
Yeah, they're still the second
insane.
favorite. It's not like they dropped down to 15th or something.
That is absolutely insane. I mean, that's what win streaks do for you. I'm sure the Raptors were up there during their win streak just before the All-Star break. Yeah, I think we're going to wrap it up, guys. It is hitting 2 a.m. And at this point, we're torturing you guys who, like I said, are to the east of us in these different time zones. I do not know how I'm still awake. I do not regret coming on, though. I love this discussion.
We love having you.
Loved slandering, the Lakers. Not necessarily LeBron. LeBron I like, but
I believe I called 4-0, didn't I? So I think if we beat the Clippers tomorrow, I nail my 4-0 bet guess.
Yeah, I don't really remember what I called.
You went 3-1, Kyle. I remember.
No, I actually don't remember. I don't know if there'd be any.
Or
way
did
to
you
check
go
that,
0-4?
I'm pretty sure I said 4-0 or something like that. I don't know. My memory's going. It's too late.
So we got the Clippers to technically tomorrow now because we're into Tuesday. Then the Lakers again on Friday, 76ers, Chicago, Cleveland. So we're going to learn a lot in the next week or so.
Yeah, like I said, after that Western road trip, it's going to get tough. It's going to get super, super tough. You
Philly,
come back,
Chicago,
you play the
back-to-back.
Lakers. Yeah, that's going to get crazy. Thank you guys for joining us. We appreciate it. This was the wrap-up, probably the latest edition of the wrap-up you will probably ever see. Unless Oren one day just wants to go live at like 5 a.m. to do a trade deadline live show next year or something like that. Your Raptors won 114-103 in a fun game. You got to make fun of LeBron. It was slanderous. It was fun. Westbrook was missing all night. It was good. I kind of feel sorry for him, to be quite honest with you, but I mean, it is what it is. Like, comment, guys, if you haven't already. Turn on the post notifications. Your Toronto Raptors are now 38-30, if I believe. Don, please correct me if I'm wrong. They are 7th in the East, 38-30. That was it for myself, Aiden Moss, and Kyle Brickman, who were both hosts, but I feel like they're so low on energy that I'm just going to close it out tonight.
Yeah,
you're a natural host.
That's okay. I'm like
Thanks,
Ken Burks. Like I can start the first 8 minutes and then I'm checked out. Like I'm icing my knees by the second half.
Yeah.
Wherever you were watching from, wrap up. We appreciate you guys so much. We're gonna ask you this question a lot more often, but that was fun. This live show was produced by Don Yang. We'll see you guys all, I believe, Wednesday night, right, against the LA Clippers. And that is it. We love you guys. Take care.